Okay, so my post-concussion symptoms are acting insane today, and in the past, when all else fails, I've gone to what's it called, like kind of like imagery, like imagination, like thinking of my body and thinking of the colors, like because I have really bad migraine, like I have really bad pain where like someone is taking a nail and just hammering it in, and then down my spine, it feels the same. It was so painful. I've tried sleeping. I know I need rest, but that's not working. And I would imagine colors and textures going through my body and my brain, just like washing out the pain, right? And ever since I got into perfume, I've enjoyed doing that too. So I was just sniffing my perfumes. Normally I like using Nymphaea or Himalayan Dawn for this, but today I was just sniffing my perfumes. Which one is, grounding me a little bit? And I'm using Mati and Mala. And so like for me, when I smell Mati, like immediately my brain, I don't know, the pain kind of started to dissipate a little bit. Wait, that's the wrong word. I pronounced the word wrong, but it started to like, what if I'm doing with my hands? I can't think because concussion brain symptoms right now. But I also have included not just imagery, because sometimes it's hard to imagine. So I like to create artwork, right? Like, so what I'll do is I'll take, let's say, Mati, right? Or Mala. I'm kind of surprised that these scents are feeling calming to me or aren't overstimulating for me, because when I have the post-concussion symptoms, everything is heightened, and Nymphaea and Himalayan Dawn are pretty much the only ones I can handle. But these two are working, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, and I'll show you how I like to go about this. I'm probably going to use pastels because I have limited mobility, so I can't really hold a pencil. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I do that. So basically what I'm going to do is I applied Mati on my hand and Mala on the other hand. And like I'm taken to like muddy ground, and like as if I'm like sinking myself in like squishing my hands and feet in mud, or sitting down to like literally ground me. So I'm going to kind of just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw where the pain is, and then by drawing, trying to imagine which points in my brain or which points in my body I'm trying to release it through the smell of perfume. And that's worked before, so this video is getting very long, but I'll show you what I do when I draw. So I have my colors I chose. Again, like I said, I'm using pastels. These are the colors that are going to make up the mud kind of vibes, or the vibes of Mala and Mati. But first, when I'm doing drawing to, like, in an imagination sense, release the pain, what I like to do is, so right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, so I'm taking red, or not, I think I'm going to take orange, because the pain feels quite, like, neon red, and, like the painful thing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw in my head what the back of my head would look like. This is a very it's a very, like, what do you call it? It's not accurate, it's not anything, but it's more an abstract, that's the word. Sorry, today in my brain, I'm not going to be very, like, able to verbally express things very much, because I'm in a lot of pain, so brain fog, right? And then I'm going to take, I think this is a bright red, right? So I feel pain in my head here, right? This is where I feel the pain the most. So what I do is I like to validate my pain, like my body's pain, right? Instead of being like, oh, God, why am I in pain? Which I was feeling that, but that makes me angry, and then makes me anxious, and that builds up tension, and that makes the pain worse, right? So I'm drawing a map. We're going to pretend this is the back of my head. There we go. So this is kind of where it feels like the pain is, like, and then pretend this is my spine. It feels like shocks of stabbing pain, right? Yeah, so I'm going to do that, just as a way to, and I basically do this when I do this, like, drawing practice, I basically do this until I feel satisfied, until I feel validated, right? So if the pain feels like shooting down my spine, like it starts here, it feels like shock waves of pain, and it just like spikes down, and I feel like it spikes down there. So, you know, I just kind of allow my body to kind of like, you know, allow myself to aggressively draw to kind of release that feeling of frustration. Okay, so we have this, right? Now, I have this, and I have this visualization of my pain, right? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to think of, like I said, I'm using Mala and Mati by like Tarais. And Mati it smells like the rain when it first like falls on, what's it called? When it falls on, like, you know, the first rains on like mud and stuff. Okay, so I have this, right? So what I do, like, use my imagination is, right? So let's say we want to visualize. I want to use this to help y'all visualize. So we have, there we go. We have this oil, right? So what I like to do is I like to visualize. So I have this pain, right? In my head, I like draw, and then in the same way, my brain is kind of like processing. So I like imagine, let's say like here. Imagine like let's say this oil, this perfume oil, it's like running down, pouring into my body, right? And I imagine it like just moving along and kind of moving out the knots and the pains and relieving that. And then, so for Mati, right, I'm gonna do like what's it called? Use colors to symbolically like define that. So for me, Mati, you know, it's kind of like has like a almost like mineral, like mud, basically, like you're in the mud. So I've made this drawing, right? I made this drawing, and now what I'm gonna do is I want to imagine like a vat of Mati, and then I imagine with this mala, I imagine, like, let's say we can visualize the pain in our body, like in literal colors, right? And so let's say Mati, I'm imagining Mati going down. I'm also gonna envision Mala, like it'll be, let's say for me, I imagine Mala coming in through here, right? So coming in through here and here in like a protective way, because Mala to me smells like temple, like, you know. So I made this drawing for me, right? I mean this thing, but we're not going to keep this because we want to imagine that this is being erased by the perfume, the scent of the perfume. And like it helps your brain to visualize the pain erasing if you literally like draw over it. Well, I don't know why I'm saying brain. It helps me, you know. So what I'm going to do is we're going to soften these spikes, right? And I want to add a little bit of green. I start off with this reddish brown because that's what I imagine Mati's like the red clay dirt of India. That's why I use that color. And I want to use green to kind of soften, you know, and these spiky edges, what I'm going to do is I'm going to soften it. So it'll help my brain kind of like imagine that like the pain in my head, the shooting pain in my spine, like it's all being released, right? I basically want to imagine that this perfume, the scent of this perfume, it's like I poured this oil and it has seeped into all of my body, my insides, and it is doing its work in washing away any pain, the stabbing pain here. It's starting to release it out of my body, right? It's in my head, and for my head, maybe I want to use a bit of like orange, just to give it a little bit of warmth, because when I smelled mati, I'm like immediately in the spot in my head where it was hurting so bad, where it was making me feel dizzy and like the vertigo was happening. I felt that pain like sort of ease up. So I'm trying to imagine, what is the warmth of mati? What does that feel like, right? And these are just the colors. And again, when you do drawings like this, like, you don't care that it looks pretty ugly, right? Like, it's for you. It's not about the aesthetics of it. It's about helping yourself envision your pain, kind of like being released from your body. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so now we have that. And now we have, what did I say? This is mala, right? Mala for me, because I think of Jindu or marigold and like saffron. And so like, these are the colors. So like this color is seeping inside my body through, let's say, my neck, my spinal area. And it's, mala is helping to, because the sweet smell's kind of helping to like work itself, that perfume is working itself into my spine, and it's like releasing it through my body, through, like, it's coming out of my skin, like kind of like a cleansing, like of your body. And again, this is all imagination, okay? This is not like a real thing that's happening. It's just your imagination, because for me, imagination has helped so much. I've had migraines for the last 11 years, like so bad, like I would throw up. I basically wouldn't eat for a long time, like literally couldn't. And I've found throughout the years, you know, I feel like an iPhone update every few months, every few weeks. Sometimes my body's like, this method doesn't work, so I have to find a new one. But yeah, so there's that. And I think I want to use, I'm gonna blend it out. Yeah, I'm gonna blend it out. And again, I do this until I feel satisfied. Not when the picture looks good, not like whatever. Whenever I feel my body starting to settle down and feel calm, like using the drawing and imagination is working, that's when I stop. And I think for me right now, this is, I feel good, so I'm gonna stop. But yeah, you can just keep doing this until you feel good.